It is Wednesday again. This is the Wednesday weekly learning session from local bartending school. My name is Carlos Navia. I do this live every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. You're always welcome to be a part of this class. It is a Zoom call. If you go to the link on the local bartending school Facebook page, if you're already an enrolled student, when you get to the drop-down menu, you can pick that you're already an enrolled student. It'll take you straight through to the Zoom link to this class. If you're not an enrolled student, they will ask you for a little bit of information, but then it will take you to this link, and you're welcome to be a part of this class and ask me any questions about anything. I've been a bartender for several decades in many different states. I've been working for a local bartending school, training bartenders for about 8 years now. I'm coming to you from my outside tiki bar here in San Luis Obispo, California on the Central Coast, where we come to you from every week talking about a different topic. It is August 24th, 8/24, which for us in Southern California, I'm kind of in Central California now, but originally from LA, is Kobe Bryant Day. In the memory of Kobe Bryant, who passed away in a helicopter crash a couple years ago. 8/24 were the two numbers he played for the Lakers. Both numbers are retired. So 8/24, August 24th. We still got a good week till, we get into Labor Day, and we'll talk about that a little bit next week. Kids have gone back to school. Summer season's kind of over. Things are definitely slowing down here at the beach where I live. I was just down in Pismo Beach yesterday. Still get some good tourists, but things are kind of slow for the next week until we get into, still good on the weekends, but until we get into kind of the Labor Day weekend. So I wanted to talk a little bit today, just about questions and comments, that bartenders have to deal with. It's a customer service job. You're going to have to deal with a lot of different things, and how you handle people, how you approach people is a big part of it. You have to deal with a lot of different attitudes, a lot of different personalities, not just, the guests that you deal with, but the employees you're going to have to work with as well. So it does take someone that, can kind of balance it. And, the other thing to remember is that we're all the center of our own universe. So a lot of times people aren't conscious of other people or what's going on around them, so you kind of have to deal with this. Now, there are some silly questions, you can say stupid questions, that are just to be expected, that people are going to ask you. I worked at a place in Destin, Florida called AJ's Seafood and Oyster Bar for several years. Very busy place, popular place, right on the docks there on the harbor in Destin. A lot of people would come in from the docks and ask us where the restroom is. Now, as you come in from the docks, there's an 8-foot sign right there, says restrooms with arrows. And people would walk in, where are the restrooms? And we just point to the sign. Okay, they're not paying attention. They're unaware. They're in their own world. They're on vacation, having a good time. So, that kind of stuff's to be expected. It's going to happen. You're going to deal with it. You can't let it bother you. I always just think it's funny. I kind of laugh right underneath the sign right there. They go, oh, no, didn't see it, whatever. And they go to the restroom. No big deal. I started thinking about this when I talked to a bartender, Rod, at LAX, at the LAX airport in Los Angeles, which is one of the larger, bigger, busier airports in the country. And I don't know why he decided to open up to me and start talking, because I didn't mention I was a bartender or anything like that. But I think he could pick up that I was watching what was going down and kind of giggling at some of the things that he was being asked. So he started sharing some stories with me that I thought were funny. It's a good job. If you can get an airport job, hopefully you have the right background. There's nothing in your past to get you through a security check or anything like that. But, airports are always busy. You're always going to have people there. People get nervous. They have anxiety before flights. They want a cocktail, so plus they're on vacation, or they're on business, or they're whatever, having a expense account. So that, they're spending money. I did ask him a little about it because I was kind of curious how hard it was logistically, at an airport like that. But said they have a designated parking area, so they don't have to deal with the regular airport traffic that's going in and out of there, which I have experienced and can be horrible at times, plus all the construction they're doing on that specific airport. They have a separate security check. They come in so that they don't have to go through, once again, the general public that's going to get on their flights or anything like that. So it doesn't hold them up a lot. And, he said he made really good money there, that it is decent tips. You are going to hear some things that you might not hear at other venues, and have to put up with some of these questions and comments I'm talking about that you wouldn't hear at other venues. But it's good money. It's a solid job. It is definitely worth it. The funniest ones he shared with me, which I found very, very amusing, First thing, people would complain a lot. Besides the bar, there was also a little area there where you could pick up a pre-made sandwich or, iced tea or something like that and just grab it and pay him. So I happened to be sitting there listening to the conversations. And I found it very funny that people were complaining about the prices. You're in the airport. What do you think was going to happen? It was $14 for a sandwich. I don't know what to tell you. Neither did Ron, because Ron doesn't make the prices, but they would keep giving him a hard time about it. Like, I don't know I just collect the money. I just sell the sandwiches. So I thought that was amusing. Where he was, the terminal he was working in was kind of up a couple stairs and, around terminals, several gates around it. To get to the bathroom, he had to go down the stairs on the right. So he is very used to people getting off planes. Where's the restroom? Down the stairs on the right. Where's the restroom? Down the stairs on the right. Where's the restroom? Down the stairs on the right. Fine. Simple question. You're going to answer it all day. It's part of the job. He said a woman came up to him that looked like she wasn't going to make it anyway. Where's the restroom? Down the stairs to the right. And she goes, well, why isn't it up here? As if he had some kind of say in how they designed the terminal. If they, I don't think they stopped and asked Ron when they were laying down the blueprints to create that specific terminal at LAX. So he found that one amusing. He shared that one with me. The other one was, he said a woman came up to the bar that he had never seen before. I'd like to mention she was not sitting at the bar previously or anything like that. Just a random person walked up to the bar and said, have you seen my husband? I have no idea who your husband is. So, that's just kind of funny things that he deals with, in his specific venue that he has to deal with that, two ways to look at it. You could let it upset you, or you could just kind of laugh, get a kick out of it, move on with your day. One of the biggest ones I hate personally that I've had to deal with so many times, and it's one of just this annoys the crud out of me. It's a busy bar. I have a lot of people. There's a lot of people waiting. I'm moving as fast as I can. I'm making drinks and someone will stop me. Excuse me, I'm ready to order. Sure. What can I get you? Well, Susie, what were you thinking about having? Or no, don't stop me and say you're ready to order unless you're ready to order. I stop and ask you what you want. Now's not the time for deliberation. And it would bother me. But I can't be rude to the people. Generally, I tell you what, get your order together. These folks are telling me their order. One time I had some people waiting and I saw a regular that comes every happy hour, every Friday. Janice, I love her. I know exactly what she drinks. She drinks a vodka soda, splash of orange juice. The bar is very busy. There are a lot of people yelling. There are a lot of people trying to order. That's fine. These folks were ready to order. What would you like? They continue to chat amongst themselves. Someone else asked for an order. I make it for them. We were next. Sure. I just needs to give me an order. They keep deliberating. So I see Janice coming. I make her drink. I set it on the bar. She picks it up, walks in. Hello, picks it up, walks away. They're like, how did she get her drink? She was first. I know what she wants to drink. You have yet to tell me. You have yet to order a drink from me. And even saying that to him, which I did, is probably pushing it. That's a little rude. I shouldn't have said it, but that's as far as I've gone. So you have to deal with stuff like that. What do you make the best? Everything. Everything I make is good. Nothing's any better than the other. Whatever you want. It's not about what I want to make. It's about what you want to drink. This one you get a lot. Bartenders get a lot. We all have the same exact answer, and it's very, very simple. People come up, what's your favorite drink to make? The real answer, Bud Light bottle. Done. Over with. That's the truth. But you can't tell that to people. It makes you sound uncreative. What's your favorite drink to make? Whatever you like, whatever your favorite drink to drink is, or if you have a specialty drink or something that you like putting together, or you think you do very well, you throw it out there if you get in that situation. You come up to this. I've got this written two ways because it's the same kind of question, but it comes up two different ways. One is this: you'll have someone come up and just some random drink. Can you make a four-toed basking lizard? And you're like, what? What? And no, it's random. It's crazy. Easiest thing to do: ask them if they know what's in it. You know what's in it, I can make it. If you don't, I can look it up on the internet And if you do, Google drinks, look stuff up on the internet. Liquor.com is my favorite reference. To this point, I haven't seen any recipes I don't like on there. And generally, the recipes you're going to find on there are the way that the drinks should be or expected to be made in a bar in 2022. If you just Google Manhattan, you'll find a lot of crazy things, people's takes and different liquor company spins on it and stuff like that. But they're going to give you the recipe the way it should be made in a bar, in 2022. Same kind of question, but it comes up this way sometimes. I would hear this a lot in Florida. I was down in Key West 5 years ago. And when we were in Key West, we went to this bar. It was called Purple Parrot Bar. And they had a drink. It was called Purple Parrot Punch. Can you make that? I've never been to Key West. Sometimes I just want to be like, 5 years ago in Key West at the Purple Parrot Bar. Did you see me there? No, I wasn't there. I've never been there. I have no idea what you're talking about. Same kind of thing, exact same question. You get it sometimes. Just, well, do you know what's in it? Because I've never been there. I'm unfamiliar with that drink. But, if you know what's in it, I'll be happy to make it for you. Where was I? They all crack me up. Will this give me a headache? People will ask you that. Will this give me a headache? Well, yes. All alcohol will give you a headache. It's what it does, especially if you drink too much of it. So the answer is yes. Yes, all alcohol will give you a headache. Unfortunately, that's the way it works. Sorry, I can't even read some of these. Does muddled mean it has mud in it? No. Muddled does not mean it has mud in it. That's a real question that people get. Muddled means I'm taking my little hammer and I'm smashing stuff. We do not put mud into cocktails in this. Just give me a beer. That's a great one. Hey, I'll just take a beer. That works on TV shows and movies, but that doesn't work in real life where they serve more than one type of beer. What kind of beer do you want? You can't just go in a bar, just give me a beer. What kind of beer? I used to work at a bar that served 175 different beers, and people would still come in and say that. Yes, we have a broad spectrum. Please narrow it down to something at least for me. Just, yeah, sure. What kind of beer do you want? We've got a bunch of them. I think at one place, the place I was just talking about, too, AJ's in Destin, Florida, I had got it down to this. They didn't serve that many beers. I think we only had about a dozen beers, including the ones on tap. So I could rip them off really, really fast. Someone said, just give me a beer. Sure. Bud Light, Coors Light, Budweiser, Miller Genuine Draft, Red Stripe, Yingling, Corona Light. I could just rip them off. Eventually, they would go that way when I got to one, because that was actually faster than me going, what kind of beer? And then going, ooh, do you have triple Spanish strawberry oatmeal stout with raisins? No, these are the dozen I have. Usually I get 4 or 5 in, they'd hear one they like, they'd go to it, and it cut down on the time. It just made things a lot faster for me. It's my birthday. Do I get a free shot? No, you don't. You get a happy birthday. And hopefully you came with some friends that are going to pick up the tab, because that's what you should do if you take a friend out on their birthday. But, we're not there to give people drinks, give drinks away. Maybe have a house policy where that's a thing, but I see it less and less and less. I don't even think Denny's gives you a free meal anymore, because on my birthday at Denny's in the old days, I could hit 4 or 5 Denny's and do some good damage. I'm a pretty big guy. So, unless there's some kind of house policy that you give it away. And if there is, almost always, and I say almost always because there's always outliers in the world, nothing's, for sure, it's going to be a specific shot that is very, very cheap, not the choice of whatever the person wants. It happens in a lot of situations too, where maybe you'll get a free dessert for your birthday or anniversary or something like that. Or if a table has a bad experience, we might bring them out a free dessert to appease them and kind of make up for it. It's not any dessert on the menu. It's a very specific, cheap made. In Florida, it was key lime pie. It's the cheapest thing we got. It's the easiest thing to bring out to appease people that are upset about something else that happened in their meal or in their experience. Easy to do. If you go to places like a lot of your corporate places, Chili's, Applebee's, Outback Steakhouse, places like that. Yeah, I think they still do a free dessert for your birthday, but you don't pick the dessert off It's something small, something easy that they make. It's very cheap. It's not one of the regular desserts that they offer on the menu. So in that situation, it should be something specific. But, once again, and I'll reiterate this, anybody that wants something for free doesn't tip good. It means they're cheap. So no, sorry, you get a happy birthday. You don't get a free shot. This one, I've delved a little deeper into this one. What's gluten-free? I can't go through everything sold in the bar and know what's gluten-free and what's not. If you have celiac disease, you can't have gluten. You should know what you can eat and drink before you leave the house. I know it's becoming a big thing, but vodka. I know vodka is gluten-free. Okay, that's the one that I definitely know is gluten-free for sure. I can guarantee it's gluten-free because gluten is lost in the distillation process. Vodka is not mixed with anything after it is distilled. It is not put into barrels. It is not aged. Therefore, it is gluten-free. As of 2020, the FDA and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms as well, but both bureaus as of 2020 have declared that distilled spirits can be labeled gluten-free. Gluten is taken out in the distillation process. So I know all vodka is gluten-free. That's the easy go-to one. Vodka is gluten-free. Everybody loves Tito's. That's fine. All vodka is gluten-free. It is. Even Grey Goose says gluten-free on the bottle now. They're trying to catch up with Tito's, who's taking that whole market. As for the other spirits, I don't necessarily know. Just because it's distilled does not mean it's gluten-free. Okay? There's a chance that gluten can be introduced to the spirit after the distillation process. So if I were to add something to flavor it that had gluten in it, if I were to age it in a barrel that had maybe been used for beer or something like that before, it's going to absorb gluten from there. So vodka, I know it's only mixed with water. That one's definitely gluten-free. As far as the other ones, it's really on a case-to-case basis, depending on how they're aged and what's put in to flavor them after the distillation process. So that's the only one I can definitely go to. That one is gluten-free. Some water real quick. All right. Yes. Okay. Once again, talking about cheap people. People want stuff for free, don't tip. I'll take care of you later is the biggest sign that you're going to tip me crappy because I'm right here and you're right here. You can take care of me right now. Generally, that person's going to leave you 10, maybe 15%. They tell you that I'm going to take care of you later because they know they're not. And if they tell you I'm going to tip you crappy right now, it's probably going to affect their service. So just know the second that comes out of their mouth, you're not getting a huge tip from them. Deal with them, make their drinks. It's fine. But know the kind of customer you're dealing with. People ask this all the time. Do you make a good blank? Do you make a good martini? Do you make a good Manhattan? No. I make horrible martinis and horrible Manhattans. That's why I'm a bartender. Yes, I make a good martini. Yes, I make a good Manhattan. I'm a professional bartender. I've done this most of my life. I'm obsessed with it. Yes, I make that drink well. So once again, you can't get upset. You can't let them get to you. Just, yeah, absolutely, I make a great man. Real easy way to handle, live, and deal with that situation. These two questions, but they're the same. Make it strong, or what's a strong drink? Make it strong is generally, once again, that person that's trying to get hooked up, that person that's not going to tip you good. We talked about the pouring exercise and practicing to get that proper pour down so that we know we're putting the right amount into each drink. You pay for 1.5 ounces, you get 1.5 ounces. That's the way it works. I can make you a stronger drink. I can make you a double. I can charge you for a double pour for an extra pour. Anyone that wants something for free, not going to tip you good. So, hey, make it strong. I can only give you as much as you pay for. What's a strong drink? There's a strong drink. Whiskey straight. I mean, it's as strong as it gets. It's liquor in a glass. So it's kind of funny. Long Island, generally the go-to strong drink for people that are trying to get wasted, something like that. But the other thing you got to watch with both of these questions is it's the person that's trying to get drunk. It's not the person that's having a casual drink. This person wants to get loaded. This person wants to go out and make bad decisions. So it's definitely someone that you've got to keep an eye on the second Make It Strong or What's a Strong Drink comes out, because they're just looking for trouble. They're looking to have an adventure. So, beware of that, definitely. And just be aware and keep an eye, on those type of folks. Because when I throw out, well, I got that. Heard this. Another manager told me this one day. A woman sent back a Jack Daniels on the rocks because she said it was too strong. It's like, you ordered whiskey on ice. Too strong for you, though, huh? Yeah, and it happens. Same thing. Doesn't get much stronger than that. What's cheap? Oh, God, you are. That's what's cheap. Once again, we cannot say that, okay? But that's the first thing that goes through your head every time someone asks you what's cheap, because it means they're cheap. You're not going to get a tip. The extreme of this I witnessed one day in Florida. I was not working in the main bar in the restaurant, which is upstairs. I was working downstairs in the auxiliary bar that's on the beach and has a deck that's just in the sand on the beach. Very nice place. Generally, the restaurant just uses that area for overflow when we're on a wait for dinner. It's an hour wait for dinner. You can come down there. You can have cocktails. There's a deck. There's the beach. There's video games from the kids. There's stuff for them to play with like that. Keeps people busy. It got to be about 9 o'clock at night. The restaurant's no longer on a wait. There's no one in the downstairs waiting area. I am cleaning up. I am getting ready to go home. A man comes walking down the stairs, bank card in hand, walks down the stairs, gets there, looks at me and says, "What can I get for $3.50?" That's it. He had a bank card with $3.50 on it. I said, all I can do is give you a domestic beer for that price. It's $3.25. Once again, I know I'm not getting a tip now at this point. You can't give me a drink. I can't just get a vodka. Nope. That's $4. You can't make it. Nope. I can't make an exception. Nope. That's what's going to run on the computer. That's what I have to ring up. And if you want a domestic beer, I'll be happy to get you to this week. So he had a Budweiser. I ran his card for $3.25, knowing that at most I would get a quarter that he had left over in his bank account. I did not. He drank his beer. He moved on. I closed the bar. I counted my money. And I had a funny story. I didn't let it bother me. I didn't think much about it. It didn't really take too much of my time. This one, really? You need my ID? Yes. That's why I asked for it. I need to check your identification to make sure that you're 21. The weirdest thing, and this is why I included this question, is generally I get that question from people that are 30 or under. I don't get that question from people in their 40s. People in their 40s are thrilled to pull out their ID and show me that they're in their 40s. They never go, are you serious? Yeah, I absolutely need your ID. I am going to make sure I am protecting myself and the business. That is the biggest thing. So just, yeah, you look really young to me. If anyone doesn't take that as a compliment, I don't know what to tell you, but I can't tell you how many times I've got that question. The person's giving me their ID and they're 25 or 26. And it's like, you're 26. You didn't expect to get ID, so be nice about it. But yeah, I do need to see your ID. I need to see everybody's ID. Sometimes you'll get this one. A lot of places will ask to hold people's credit cards to hold a tab open. And the person will ask you, well, why do you need to hold my credit card? Because I don't trust you. I don't know you. I'm not going to pay for your drinks, but somebody is. So somebody needs to give me a credit card. Once again, that's not what we say. That's what we'd like to say. Simple thing to say is, it is our house policy that if we keep tabs open, we have a credit card to guarantee the tab. If you'd like to pay cash or just close it out every round as you go, I'd be happy to just run your credit card and close it out for you. It's just that simple. And I don't care. If someone doesn't like that, someone does not like the idea of me holding their credit card behind the bar, I am happy to run it 5, 10 times for them. for every round. Every time you get around, I'm just going to simply run your card. That's fine. I will hand it back to you. I will never keep it in my possession. Makes a little more work for me, but makes the customer feel more comfortable that I don't have an issue with it. I don't have a problem doing it. Surprise me. You know what? I don't know you. I don't know how to surprise you. And it's one thing. We've been in situations where sometimes people will come up and kind of dealer's choice. Hey, there's 8 of us. We want to do a round of shots. Make us something. I make them something good. Pretty high percentage of thumbs up, definitely in the 90% that I've gotten. Very few times have been like, oh, that wasn't a good shot. No, it's usually that's good. What was it? Because I have a handful of go-to ones that I like, and depending on the people in front of me, I think this one would suit these group of people. I kind of guess. So that happens sometimes, but just the randoms surprise me. You know what? Here's our specialty drink menu. People really like this one. I think this one's really good. Why don't you take a look at that? And if you have any questions or if you decide on something, just look. I'm not here to play a guessing game. I'm not here to try to surprise you. What's behind door number 1? What's behind door number 2? What's behind door number 3? Do you have anything with no calories? Yes. Water. Everything else has calories in it. This is the only thing I can serve you with no calories. It's just that simple. Once again, be nice. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be rude to people. But the correct answer is, yes, I do. I have water. Everything else is going to have calories. What's good? Everything's good. Asking me what's good implies that I serve stuff that's bad. It's crap. It's really crappy to say to someone, but you're going to have to deal with it. It's something that comes on all the time. Really easy. Everything's good. We're not here to serve stuff that's bad. That's why everything's good. Can I have more olives? And people will stick their little fingers into your olive tray, get them themselves. People will ask you for more olives. Sometimes you pick a couple olives, give them more. Then they'll ask for a whole cup of olives. Then the sizes of those cups of olives will start to increase, where you're now serving people an olive appetizer. You get olives with your drink. If you want extra olives, that's fine. But the time you start like snacking on my olives, no. The olives are not an appetizer. The fruit tray is not a buffet. You get them with your drink. You can't just eat olives. Ooh, more olives. Oh, this one kills me too. I was always taught, fill the glass up with ice all the way up to the top. Ice melts fast, especially because you're putting warm alcohol on it. It's going to melt really quick. In the summertime, middle of August, especially where I live, the coast of California or Florida, the Gulf Coast, going into Texas, down to, I can't think of Corpus Christi and San Padre Island down there. That ice is going to melt super fast in that heat. Okay, it's going to go. It's going to go. I always fill the ice, glass filled to the top with ice the way I was taught. Some people go, well, you're putting a lot of ice in there. There's going to be no room for the booze. Well, you're only getting what you paid for. The amount of ice that's in the glass does not affect the amount of booze that goes into the glass. And some people tell you that's too much ice. It's fine. I'll throw half of it out. I'll make their cocktail. It is going to be a weaker cocktail because it is going to have a lot of mixer in it. If that's a Jack and Coke or something like that, it's going to be a lot of Coke. That's just the way it is. If you want to pay for a double, I'll be happy to give you a double. I have seen it, though, in this situation where they're really not looking for an extra pour. They're not really not looking to get anything else. They're really not looking for that heavy pour. In European countries, definitely the British. If you get British people from England and Ireland, Scotland, Wales, they don't serve stuff cold the way we serve stuff cold in the United States. So they'll serve a beer at 40 degrees. We expect it to be, or even a little over. We expect it to be ice cold, darn near freezing, in the United States where we live. That's how we want it. We literally want it at 32 degrees. We want an ice cold temperature where it's freezing. When the beer is a little warmer, you can actually taste it. And they generally drink beers that have a lot more flavor to them. When the beer is icy cold, you really don't taste the flavor of it. Americans drink a lot of garbage. That's the reality. Times have changed. We're moving towards a lot of craft beers and stuff like that. People are having a refined taste. But in general, that's why people want ice cold beers now. So they're not used to getting stuff that's ice cold. They're not used to getting something that's on a whole cup of ice like it. So I've had plenty of people from Great Britain ask me for less ice or just a couple ice cubes in there. I've made them the same drink that I would have made with full ice with 5 or 6 ice cubes, vodka, Diet Coke. And the person has been very happy. They don't care about the size of the pour. They can order as many as they want, get as drunk as they want. They're not worried about it. They can pay for it. They just don't like it that cold. The drink is too cold. My wife is from the Caribbean. She doesn't like stuff that cold. She doesn't like a lot of ice in her drinks either. Same kind of thing. So you may run into it to where they don't, not that they're looking for an extra pour or anything strong or anything like that, but that they just don't like that much ice. They don't like their drinks that cold. That's fine. Pour half of it out. Move on. This can be aggravating. Can I put my purse, jacket, bag? I threw in here, baby. Can I put my purse, jacket, bag, baby behind the bar? People ask you to store stuff behind the bar all the time. Behind the bar is not storage. I'm not trying to keep anybody's belongings. I'm sure as heck not trying to be responsible for anybody's belongings. Really, really simple way to get around that. It is not clean back here. A lot of stuff gets spilled. A lot of this stuff is sticky by this time of the night. We clean all at the end of the night. I wouldn't feel comfortable having your possessions back here because they're going to get dirty. They're going to get something spilled on them. So yeah, you don't want your purse back. It will be nasty. It will be spilled on and sticky when it comes back. So yeah, you don't want to keep it back. Most people, that's enough. They'll be like, oh yeah, I don't want my stuff sticky. And they'll find a place to put it. Along the same lines, can I charge my phone behind the bar, or do you have a phone charger? And once again, the answer is no. If I can accommodate the people and there happens to be a plug right there where I can plug it in and the cord can go over to where they're sitting, maybe. But once again, I'm not taking their possessions behind the bar. I'm not being responsible. I'm not holding on to them. And even if I do have that thing, what if something gets spilled, shorts out that circuit? I don't know. Their iPhone explodes or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how iPhones works. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know. I don't know if that's not going to happen. So no, I don't have a charger, and I don't use my phone at work when I'm bartending. So I have no reason to bring my personal charger into the building and have it charged. Charges in my car. Take it into work. It's for an emergency only, or if I have to, rarely Google a drink. It's not burning any battery. Okay, I don't need to bring my charger. I don't have a charger in there. I don't have some that can, one that someone can use. What would be, and this is kind of random. I'm not sure a lot of people understand this, but it's kind of something that's evolved with what we live in technology now. It kind of gets a wrench thrown in that if you work at a hotel and you have people that realize that hotel front desks have every cord for every device you could ever want because people have left them in the hotel rooms. They have a box. So they've got the cord. They've got every cord for everything imaginable. If someone has that knowledge and they go and hit up now the front desk, I'm sorry, I don't have a card. I don't bring my charger in with me. I don't use my phone at work. Now they go to the front desk and they find a cord. Can you plug this in behind the bar? Tell the front desk people to help me out. So, but generally, no, I don't want to be responsible for anyone's possessions. I don't want them to get hurt or destroyed behind the bar. Can you adjust the music? No, this is the music that's on. This is the music you pick. I have no control over it. Even if I do have control over it, I have no control over it. The boss has set this. This is what they want to hear in the place. Oh, that's not how you make a I can't tell you how many times I've tried not to get into this argument with a customer who thinks that they know more than I do about bartending. And this one has even escalated with the apps and stuff we have now to where everybody thinks they know all about it. I've been around the block. I have more references than your app does. I think I know the proper recipe for it. Once again, that's not what I'm going to say. Just, this is how we make it here, or this is our house recipe, will generally get you out of that one. We take our picture. If I have the time, not a big deal. If I'm busy and my hands are dirty and I'm sticky and covered in grenadine, I really don't want to stop to take your picture. And generally, if people see you're busy, they won't ask you, or maybe you can hit up a server that's standing there waiting for their drinks, or someone that's not quite that busy. Hey, grab that picture for me real quick while I make your drinks for you. You know, if you use the server to help you out, you can usually get someone else to do it if you're too busy. Place I mentioned earlier, AJ's in Destin, Florida. I would get this one all the time, and it's aggravating as well. I know the owner, but at this specific place, they would say, I know AJ. Here's the thing. The owner's name is not AJ, nor has it ever been AJ, nor did anyone ever call him AJ. So people would come in all the time telling me they know AJ. I know you don't know AJ. What I really want to say to them is, really? I saw him earlier. You didn't mention. I don't say that. I just go, awesome. I know him too. And I move on with my day. Can you split the check 10 ways? Yeah. It happens sometimes, not as much as the bar as it does as it happens to servers. If you can avoid it, if you can try not to, a lot of people won't ask bartenders to do it, but if you have to do it, yeah, you have to do it. I didn't order all of these drinks. Yeah. People get drunk. They forget ordering rounds. You absolutely did. We have cameras now. That's how you do it. There's not much else to tell you. I'm not putting other people's drinks on there. I know you're not open yet, but can I get this and this and this? It's like, if you know we're not open, why are you asking me for anything? But in general, if I get to the bar, first thing I'm going to do, make sure the liquor's unlocked, that stuff's set up, get my ice well, my ice, my juices, everything's set up. So if that situation does come up while I'm doing other stuff, cutting fruit, stocking, yeah, I'm going to grab you a drink. I'm going to make you what you want. I'm going to get you what you want. I'm going to take your money. I'm going to take your tip. Just that easy. Yes, I'm going to make you whatever I'm going to make. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to take your money. People ask this one all the time, or say this one all the time. I know you're busy, but, and then they're going to ask you for something. This one always kind of weirded me out, because you're never putting me out to ask me for something. I got up, shaved, pulled my hair back into a pony. I don't have hair anymore. I did my hair nice. I put on clean clothes, even deodorant, took a shower, all for the specific purpose of coming down here and getting you anything you can desire, whatever I can bring to you. You're not putting me out. So I have a reflex line to it. I have trained my brain to automatically say this line the second I hear this come out of someone's mouth. I know you're busy, but I'm never too busy for you. Before they can even get out their next line, I'm never too busy for you. What do you need? What can I get for you? I find it works well. People tend to like it. Occasionally you get someone that sits at the bar. They're inquisitive. They don't have a broad drink knowledge, and they'll ask you, hey, what's that? A time or two. That's fine. Not a big deal. But if they do it for every drink you make that goes out, hey, what's that? Hey, what's that? Hey, what was that? Hey, what'd you make him? Hey, what was that? Hey, what's that? That can get annoying. That can get aggravating. Do your best to be nice to them. But at some point, I don't say ignore them. Just kind of be like, oh, let me grab these people. And then, and just keep moving and keep grabbing people and keep moving. Do you do any tricks? No, because I don't work in the service. I work in the bar. I used to practice flipping bottles and doing silly tricks and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe I can still, give it a little spin or something like that if I wanted to. But most of the bars I have worked in have not been about tricks. They have been about speed. How fast can I get liquor in glasses and take people's money? Also, I am 6'4". I generally work where there's hanging glassware. I have no room to do tricks. Okay. I am very much bowling at China shop as it is. You're lucky I'm not knocking everything over in this 3-foot space that I have here to work in. Big guy, long arms. So no, I'm not in the circus. I don't do any tricks. Nope. I just make cocktails. I don't do any tricks. This one, I don't taste any alcohol in this. Get that from time to time. If it's something like a Long Island, you're not supposed to. If it's something like a strawberry daiquiri, you're not supposed to. That's good. That's the way it works. But if it's the person's, I don't know, five, six, seven, eight vodka tonic, and now they're like, I don't taste any alcohol in this one, it's time to cut them off. That is one of the first signs that they have had enough, that they have reached their limit. They can't taste alcohol in their drinks anymore. Eventually, you kind of pickle your tongue. All you really taste is alcohol, even well into the next day. So you don't taste the alcohol in the drinks. So it's a sign, the second they stop tasting the alcohol, probably time to cut them off, maybe slow them down with some food, make sure they're getting a ride, a friend, a Lyft, a Uber, something like that. Do you make good money here? And that is a very inappropriate question, because I would not come into a lawyer's office, ask him how much money he makes. I don't go to my dentist, ask him how much money he makes. I don't go to the grocery store and ask those folks how much money they make. That is something personal. That isn't something you generally ask a stranger. How much money do you make? Usually I do okay. I'm not starving, obviously. That's about where I leave it. I don't go into any more depth than that. Last call, really? Yes. Yes, it is 1:30. Drinks are off the table at 2 in the morning in California. We do not push it. Everybody's out that door at 1:45. You got about 15 minutes to finish that drink in front of you. People drink, they lose track of time. We call it time traveling. Sitting in a bar, you're having a drink, it's 10 o'clock. Next thing you know, same bar, same beer, it feels like it's 1 in the morning. So yes, it is last call. Go to that one. This is just the most demeaning question. Is this your real job? You seem smart. Yes, this is my real job. This is a good job. I make very good money doing this. Don't work too many hours. I get a lot of time off to do what I want to. And it's kind of weird thinking that you don't have to be intelligent to bartend, because it's really not that. You do have to be intelligent. It does take a lot of brain power, as well as a lot of couth dealing with folks like this, and dealing with questions like this. So just kind of things that I know we're going to be dealing with coming up on this holiday weekend. So we might as well make here a couple drinks while I still got a couple minutes and have some fun. Oh, wait, I got to grab something real quick in 1 second. I forgot something. I forgot my glasses. So let's try this one more time. Washed my glasses, didn't bring them out. So still a great summary, fun cocktail to have here. Make us a tequila sunrise. Tequila sunrise, really easy to do. Usually just tequila and orange juice. But I really like the way that I had one made for me. Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada. So you started with just your regular tequila, and this is just colored water. Once again, I'm not wasting alcohol back here, but I'm going to do my 1.5 ounces of my tequila colored water here. But besides just the tequila, we also put some good orange liqueur in here. So I got my little Cointreau bottle. Just going to do 1/2 ounce of my orange liqueur of my Cointreau. And they're like that. Now, main ingredient we need here is some orange juice. And we'll put our orange juice in. And I want to leave a little room to make sure I can drop the grenadine into the bottle. The other thing this particular bartender, actually was the manager who made these drinks, did was, I've got some in here, was he squeezed some fresh lime juice in. So I'm going to squeeze a little bit of fresh lime in there as well. And I really feel like the Cointreau and the fresh lime that he squeezed in there really added something to the cocktail, really made it good. So I've got my orange liqueur, I've got my tequila, I've got my Cointreau in here. I'm going to grab my grenadine. So if you're dropping something to the bottom, make sure you're always leaving space for it. I've seen a lot of people go weird, gently down the side or do kind of some weird stuff. If I just turn this all the way over, 1, 2, it's going to drop to the bottom. It's going to go, it's going to fall. It's going to give you this nice effect of the red coming up into the orange, just like a sunrise. So go ahead and give a little garnish for it here. I'm going to slice a piece of orange like this. Get a nice orange wedge. And we'll also give it a cherry. So if we take our pick, go through this cherry like this, and then you pick it into an orange or a pineapple like this. They call that a flag. So I'm going to put a nice little flag on that since it's got some orange and cherry in it. We will give it a straw, bar napkin, and we've got our tequila sunrise, a little bit of lime juice, a little bit of orange liqueur. Great, great way to serve. It's got one more here. Gave it a try too. And for this, I'm going to need my martini glass. Since I don't have it already chilled, I'm just going to throw some ice in here. Set it to the side, let it chill. I'm going to grab my handy-dandy mixing tin. Fill it up about 2/3 with ice, not too full here. So this is called the Pacific Coast because I live out here on the Pacific Coast of California. So I'm going to grab my jigger here. And this recipe called for an aged rum, specifically Flor de Caña, who is actually currently running a contest that anyone can enter for sustainable cocktail. If you have an idea for a sustainable cocktail, look at Flor de Caña, go to Tales of the Cocktail, enter that contest. So I've got some brown liquor here, or liquid here, I should say. That'll do the job of some aged rum there. We're also going to put in there some fresh lime juice. So if I have my squeezer, which I do, cut this lime in half. And remember, half a lemon, half a lime is about half an ounce of fresh juice. So I'm just going to do half a lime in here, do half an ounce. Squeeze it in there like that. There we go. And we're going to need about a half an ounce of our simple syrup here. We'll measure that out. There we go. And we're going to do half an ounce of banana liqueur. So I've got some yellow here. 1, 2, we'll do half an ounce of that. I'm going to put just a couple dashes of bitters in here like this. Pop our mixing tin in there. It locks in place and bring it back to a nice good shape. Then nice and mixed up. Off there. Throw this ice out of our glass. Drain it out here. And we have our Pacific Coast cocktail. And if you give it just a little shake, a little more will drip out every time. Just like that. All right, and let's give it a nice garnish here. We'll give it a nice little lime wheel. Side there. All right, and we have our Pacific Coast cocktail. All right, so I'll do one more because I got the fancy glass out here and I want to have some fun with it. So I'm gonna grab a fresh mixing tin here. Like this, we're gonna throw some ice in here. All right, so we're gonna start off with 1.5 ounces, and this one is called a Rainbow Paradise. Gonna have a nice cool effect on it, theoretically. So this one we're gonna start with coconut rum, something like Malibu. We're gonna do 1.5 ounces of that into our mixing tin there like that. Then we're gonna do about 3 ounces of pineapple juice, which I should have some in here. Shake that up a little bit. All right, I got my pineapple juice in there. Now we're going to shake this. We're going to give it a nice little shake. Get that nice and mixed up in there. Get the underhander. Get that nice and chilled out. All right, I'm going to get some fresh ice here in my tulip glass and my fancy glass. Also look great in a hurricane glass, just a taller, more elongated version of this. I'm going to go ahead and just put some grenadine in. Then I'm going to strain this on top of that. Just like that. And then we're going to top it off with some blue curacao. Now, we talked about dropping it down to the bottom. If we want to float something or top something, we don't turn the bottle over completely. Turn it over completely, you're opening up the pour spout completely, you're getting the full flow. If I just do it kind of from the side and do 2 circles around the top, 1, 2, I get that nice topper, I get that nice floater effect, and it stays on top. So we're going to go ahead and throw a straw in there like that. We're going to give this a nice piece of orange, and we'll give it a flag too. Since it's a tropical drink, we'll actually make this into a nice flag. Like that. And of course, since we got a beautiful tropical rainbow drink, it needs an umbrella to top it off. Get our umbrella out. Right in the straw, just like that. And we have our Rainbow Paradise cocktails. So just a couple summer ideas as we're closing out summer here. We will be back next week, and we will talk about Labor Day weekend, some ideas for Labor Day weekend cocktails, some patriotic cocktails, maybe some red, white cocktails, something like that. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.